Hi everyone, Sophie here, and here's another blog reading. I tried this one once before, but the microphone went out. This one is from Thursday, April 27th, 2017, and it's called Hopes, Dreams, and PSU. Guess what it's about? in any case, Hopes, Dreams, and PSU. Today, my roomie and bestie Linda and I went to State College, Penn State. I've been planning the trip ever since I received my schedule for the time. You see, I am seriously considering getting my doctorate, so I wanted to talk to some people about the programs. While I was there, I stopped in at the Penn State LGBT Center. Yes, I called ahead, so they knew I was coming, and they didn't evacuate the building. When we left the apartment, it was raining. It rained most of the way up as well. But as we approached Penn State, the clouds broke and the sun shone. The temperature hit the high 70s, and it was humid as hell. And we were doing a lot of walking, so that meant sweaty Sophie. Walking onto the campus, I stopped to take this picture, and there's a picture there. Bit of history here. This is the courtyard next to Atherton Hall, the honors dorm. Here, on a beautiful April afternoon in 1987, 30 years ago, two guys with acoustic guitars sat playing on a bench, which is where the bush on the left is now in the picture. They played current hits, including the new song by R.E.M., It's the End of the World as We Know It. They knew every word and played brilliantly. I was with my girlfriend at the time, walking around. Maybe 15 people saw this performance, mostly curious people like me. It's one of my favorite memories of college. Two guys enjoying the day, making music, just for the fun of it. And I was having a wonderful day with my girlfriend. This, to me, was Penn State. Our first stop was at the Hub, which is the Hetzel Union building, the student center, to use the restroom. There was quite a celebration going on. A loud DJ, cake, many staff in striped shirts. I found out that this was part of the annual Moving On celebration for the seniors. Our next stop was across the street at Buki Building. The Penn State LGBT Center was there. When I was at Penn State in the 80s, there was no LGBT center. In fact, to be LGBT at that time was downright dangerous. There was, and still is, a gay bar downtown called Chumley's, but to be seen going in there meant social ostracization or a beating. When I was a student, a story circulated about a guy who a friend knew, whose roommate was gay and dressed as a girl for Halloween. This person apparently did it quite well, because at this apartment party, the roomie was being hit on and eventually left with a member of the football team. That's when people would laugh. Everyone knew what happened next. Football player, paragon of manhood, finds out the girl is a guy, and the fag gets his ass kicked. But no one knew what happened next, if it ever happened. But that was the attitude toward trans people back then. And now Penn State has an LGBT center. I was greeted by an intern. I introduced myself, and she immediately contacted Sonia Wilmoth, the assistant director of the center. We spoke for a while about many things. I told them I was at their service, and they seemed very happy to hear that. In fact, she wants to bring me up sometime in the fall to do a program. I did my best to play it cool, but I failed miserably, as I was very excited. Speak at main campus? Sign me up. After a wonderful time there, Linda and I went to 3 different offices for various departments, hoping to speak to people about their programs. I managed to speak to some women's studies, but at the other 2 places I encountered staff, and they all said the same thing. Everything is online. Look it up. Thanks. So I guess I won't be talking to people. A quick stop at the Penn State bookstore and then to the deli for a late lunch. All over campus were people in graduation gowns. I didn't think graduation was until after finals, but there were so many. And they were all over campus getting pictures, taken in groups and alone, and the Nittany Shrine was mobbed. I thought about this a lot on the way home. I'll come back to this. Anyway, after lunch, a quick drive by my fraternity house for some pictures, and then I pointed my car east for the 3-hour drive back to the apartment. The apartment, where Linda and I live, but in many ways, Penn State will always be my home. It is my happy place. Anyway, as I said on the way back, I was thinking. I thought about all those new grads. and about how their Penn State time was at a close. They would be entering the real world. They would become adults and live their lives. Many would marry, have children, careers. This was the end of their childhood. But how many of them realized it, or even cared? And the more I thought about it, the more I thought about what college means. The entire idea of going to university is based upon hope. The dream of finding a great career and doing something they love, of being a success, of making a difference. All hopes and dreams. And as I've written before, dreams lie. How many graduates actually use their degrees? How many end up in dead-end jobs because no one is hiring? Real life is harsh. But for them, the students, it's still ahead of them. Life is but a dream. How I envy them. I wrote about this in the last chapter of my book, which I quote here. Penn State has left me and my classmates behind. As we visit the campus, we see new buildings, small or significant changes, and we watch the campus grow. Stores open and close. Fashions change. New kinds of music blare from the balconies in Beaver Canyon. But one thing never changes. The students are frozen in time. The students will always be somewhere between 17 and 23 years old. Yet we alumni continue to get older and older. We continue on with our lives, which for the most part have taken us far from the place most of us love so dearly. My Penn State no longer exists as a physical place. It exists in the memory of all those who were there at that time. We are now all in our late 40s and early 50s. My Penn State lives in my soul. It visits me in my dreams. In unguarded moments, it makes me wistful or sad. I hated leaving. When I graduated, I fell into a very deep depression. I wanted nothing more than to go back through time and start over, to have that time and experience again and again. Eternal youth, eternal hope, eternal tears. Be well. So that was the that entry. I still haven't heard from anyone concerning the doctorate at Penn State. Things have happened since then. I'm still considering getting my doctorate. I'm still looking into it, and I'm still hoping to go to Penn State for it. So we'll see what happens. There's a bit of inertia, really. I want to do this, but I don't want the debt. And there's so many things I want to do. Sometimes I'm just too damn tired. And I was thinking about that tonight. How primarily while I was up at school, I was tired. And I was only sleeping 2-3 hours a night. I was partying hard, and then there was work, and studying, and I was really running around. And I just remember by the time I graduated, I was exhausted. When I graduated, at that point, I'd had enough of Penn State, of college. I was just so tired. But within a month, I would have given anything to go back. And that caused a major depression, because I knew I couldn't. So we'll see what happens, I guess. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that blog, and I'll do another one soon, I hope. This is Sylvia Lynn saying, be well.